Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you very, very much for stopping in. I appreciate everybody, and your support that I've been getting has been extremely heartfelt, so thank you for that. For the new viewers, I have started a new love series, which I started in June, and I still do monthly readings for each individual sign, which I'm going to start in the next couple days because it takes 4 or 5 days to upload those. But what I do is I basically just toss the dice just before I turn on the video, and wherever it lands on the astrology wheel is the 2 sun signs connections that I'll read about. And this is a love connection in all realms. I mean, you know, love takes on many different forms in our lives. Today's sun signs are for Aquarius and Libra. Fantastic, beautiful, very compatible, energetic connections. So, and if you're watching this because that's what you are, I'm sure you already understand that. And this, like I said, can be on all different levels, from your deepest soulmate to your greatest friend. Because let me tell you something. I, as a Libra, have had connections with Aquarians, and they have been lifelong friends. So that's super important, you know, and that happens sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, you really cherish that, because there's so much history basically. But this is a wonderful combination, and after I read a little bit about each sign, a little bit of definition and why I think that you're incredibly great for each other, what I think your strengths are, and just, you know, the optimism that's important for keeping that love alive, I will be doing a reading for you too, for today specifically, but then for the rest of the month and onward, because we have incredible planetary changes and strong energies affecting you as a couple and all of us right now. So let's get started. We'll start with Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign, and so is Libra. That's the main thing right off the bat. There's this just common kind of cool connectedness when you meet firsthand. I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily love at first sight. It could be, but you feel comfortable. You are, the Aquarian is a fixed sign, and they are a masculine sign. Also Libra, masculine, though Libra is a cardinal sign, but I'll explain a little bit more about that. Then you have the fact that Aquarian is what is known as the water barrier, and also that the Aquarius is, their ruling planet is Uranus, and Uranus is, I think, the first modern planet is what I read in 1781 or something like that. Don't quote me, but in the 1700s. And it is the absolute planet of change and unexpected change and evolution, you know, and invention and that sort of thing, which makes perfect sense for Aquarians, as I will describe and explain a little further. It is the, let me think here now, the symbol for an Aquarius is the 2 squiggly lines. And basically that represents the water. And once again, the aspect of the Aquarian being a water barrier, which basically means in Greek mythology that they were the ones that wanted to give to the masses, you know, in fairness, and so all could be loved and taken care of. And that's kind of basically what this Aquarian predominant energy is about, just wanting to help and provide for everybody, you know, just as many people, usually in big groups or, you know, globally. Very, very heart caring, friendly energy and signs, the Aquarians. Now they, the other part of the squiggly line in the picture represents the ankle, because that is what body part that the Aquarian rules. So just being careful about that, you know, next to the Achilles heel, when you're walking and so forth or running, you don't want to twist it. It's just kind of an interesting phenomenon, but there's a part of the body represented to each sign in the zodiac. Now, as I mentioned, I am just reading the sun signs of the Aquarian and Libra, And it doesn't have to mean either sex. It can be either gender on either side. But I do make a point of saying that because the moment you're born, you have 12 planets all in a specific alignment just for you that day. And the sun sign is extremely important and powerful. And the sun is the most brightest star and illuminating thing in the universe or the solar system. So that very much is a part of who we are. Yes, it's important. It's our personality. It's our likes, what we like to do, you know, how we like to be seen, what we like to wear, our interests, and so forth. But it's just a 12th of who we are. So it's always good to look into your own chart if you get a chance, and you can click on sites like astro.com or Cafe Astrology for free and just get this incredible plethora of information that just doesn't end. And you're going to do, like myself, the whole interest in this came well over 40 years ago when I found out I was a Libra, and then it just went from there. And then I started studying and doing documentation and, you know, my own research on the constant attraction between specific signs, you know, which I find incredibly beautiful and mystery and mysterious and illuminating and exciting, and gives me clarity. I hope it does you as well, you know, more insight to understanding our relationships with others. So overall, I mean, the Aquarian is absolutely, as an air sign, they're incredibly intellectual, analytical, very much focused on their thoughts, learning, continuously wanting to expand their horizons and communicate and delve into as many things as they can, specifically futuristic things. I've known so many Aquarians that are very inventive, and they love, you know, the sci-fi movies, and they love astronomy, astrology. They love just being able to provide, and a lot of it has to do, the Uranus aspect and the planet with Aquarius has to do with future and innovative things. For example, the last time we had the planetary aspects like they are right now was back in the mid-90s when they came up with the World Wide Web. Remember that phrase? Before it was actually internet. I mean, that started then. That's the Aquarian aspect. That's the going past the norm and really reaching and being originating and inventive and coming up with things that change the world, basically, you know. So they're very futuristic that way. They're incredibly friendly. They're, I don't know, they're just, you know, like I said, inventive. They are creators. They are active. They're a little bit fixed in their decisions, not that unwavering as a fixed sign. That's just the way it is. There are 4 fixed signs, 4 cardinal signs, 4 mutable signs, and, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, they like to kind of stick with their beliefs, but they're also open-minded at the same time. So it's kind of an oxymoron, or kind of confusing in some ways. Now, as an air sign, they can be kind of detached. And both of the Aquarius and Libras are both air signs, so they both have that kind of a detachment type of thing. And all that means is that they're kind of thinking things through. Everything they do is through their thoughts. And you have this independence with Aquarius as well, which is also happening with the Libra. But now let's go to Libra a little bit. So Libra is the air element as well. And Libra is a cardinal sign, so they actually initiate the beginning of fall. All cardinal signs represent the beginning of each season. There are 4. And yeah, so the changeable, the new, the assertiveness that Libras like to do. They like to be active and start things and be active and social, incredibly social. Their sign is basically the scale, so it's incredibly important that they have that balance in their lives. And they are absolutely known for partnerships and unions of all types. So, you know, that's a huge part of what you can always recognize with Libras. Libras are ruled by the planet Venus. That is their ruling planet, and that is the planet of love. That is the planet of beauty. They love everything beautiful. They like to look good. They like to feel good. They love good food. They're incredibly good artistically when it comes to design, and they appreciate the finer things. And generally, when you go into a home of a Libra, you're going to have a beautiful, aesthetically looking, surrounding, and they make great interior designers too. I mean, they have a lot of artistic careers, that could work with them, as well as Aquarians are very creative as well. So this is another beautiful attraction. They have the ability to communicate and think and come up with ideas. They would be great together with nonprofit organizations that affected the world and, made things more fair, because they want fairness, they want truth, they want equilibrium. The two of them, I mean, they're just a powerhouse, and it's fun. They have social circles of all walks of life, great gatherings. They do have the independence, like I said, on both sides, maybe Aquarian even more, and that's okay. I mean, as much as I think Aquarians want to be friends with everybody, and yes, Libras love that too. Libras are more probably happiest when they have that partnership of some kind, work-wise, great best friends, more on a smaller scale, but they absolutely love and appreciate everyone. They're not, all they want to do is have it be nice. They want to have it be diplomatic. They want things, they don't like confrontation. So I think there's a great sense of loyalty for each other, just that baseline understanding, and they love fun together. They travel, they love seeing the world and starting new things and changing, and wow, it's a gorgeous connection. So I'm happy to read about that today. Now, before I go into the reading specifically, I just want to mention a few things about what's happening. And if you've already heard this, you might want to fast forward it, but there's just a lot, actually. Energetically wise, the planets are creating such incredible, enormous change. First of all, we're in Cancer season, so that is the water element. It started on the 20th, and today's the 24th. And so if you know Cancers, yes, it's their sun season, it's their birthday time. Happy birthday to all Cancers. And when you're in a water element season, you're going to feel just a lot more emotion, just right off the bat, because they're so sensitive and very receptive, and they pick up on everyone's energy, and they have this innate way to intuitively know what's happening. So you're feeling that very strongly. So in addition to the sun season, we had the new moon eclipse, which was just on the 21st. So that was the first day of summer, started Cancer season. Then we had the new moon eclipse, and new moon eclipses is like a moon on steroids, basically. And that's about our beginnings. That's about our beginnings when it comes to our heart, to filling our needs, to filling and making ourselves happy, to be incredibly grateful and blessed and feeling very supportive, and in turn supporting others that we love, very much wanting to be around familiar people, family members, the smaller groups, which makes sense for right now, right? It's very real-time type of stuff. Excuse me. And then we also had Mercury retrograde into Cancer on the 18th. So just retrograde means just reviewing everything. It's going to bring people back into your lives, even if you're not a Cancer. I'm just saying these are the predominant energies you're going to be feeling. And the two eclipses, there was one in Sagittarius, which is a beautiful element for the air qualities for the two of you. So that's really cool, because it was about truth. It was about, breaking the norm, bringing to surface what needs to be said. And when the air quality is involved with that, those are the swords. That's what represents the air quality in the tarot and in the reading. So see, astrology always is very synchronistic with tarot, which is why I loved and started to read tarot, 25 years ago now. But yeah, the air is about the swords, like cutting out the parts that don't work anymore, and being truthful, letting go of the non-truth, the contradictions that have been surrounding us everywhere, right? So we're reaching into our hearts now. We're coming from that thought and intellectual, analytical state, and we're going deeper into our hearts now. Retrograde season is basically what we're in, with 6 planets retrograde. Actually, Venus was in retrograde. It just started going forward today, so you're going to be a little bit still kind of perplexed about maybe issues regarding love and our hearts. But then moving forward, it's going to bring in a much better feeling and understanding. There'll be much better communication, even with retrograde Mercury, which is all about communication. So if there is confusion there, like when I try to do these videos, I'm constantly stuttering, or the words are there, but it doesn't want to come out. Just take a deep breath, accept it. It's not going to last long. It'll be done July 12th, and then there'll be a little bit of a shadow period. But these influences are very, very heavy duty for all of us. And it's really beautiful in a lot of ways, because we're reestablishing things, we're reevaluating things, we're reminding ourselves of what it is we truly want in love and the people we want in our lives, like yourselves. You've probably gone through a lot of emotional things. I know a lot of us have. You're sorting through that and you're getting to the other side, because it's time and things are opening up around us in the outside world. So we're taking it easy, you know, no sense in pushing forward right away. We want to be safe still. We know what we need to do. You will be communicating this to each other as a couple. And this will last, my gosh, 3 to 6 months. The energies that new moon will bring and the storyline that it'll bring with it. So it's beautiful though. It's optimistic. So don't be frightened about that. Change is good. A lot of change is necessary, and it's definitely good. So I wanted to mention that. The third eclipse will be on July 5th. So that's just around the corner. And that'll kind of culminate everything. That'll be the full moon in Capricorn. And that'll kind of cement the storyline, as I said. And it'll play out for some time. So that's something to think about and to be recognizing when you're feeling extra emotional. It's a good thing. I've been crying more than usual. And I feel it feels good. But mostly it's just about feeling so grateful, because I'm here and I'm able to do these and I feel well. And as a massage therapist, my business is going to be able to start probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. It's a beautiful thing. So it's a long awaited thing, and it's time. So let me pull out the most important energies that are just for the Libra and Aquarians from our spirit guides, and the beautiful, beautiful energies of life source that are here to, you know, definitely support us and bring us divine guidance at all times. Like to pull at least 3 or 4 for you. And then I finished with these beautiful oracle messages and divinations that I absolutely cherish and I'm so grateful to have. So the cards say, and this is interesting because it makes sense. The first one is the 5 of Swords. You're both in your element. You're so much in your mind. You're so much in your thoughts. You want the truth. Loss is the word. Now, I would be very surprised if in some capacity, something hasn't been lost in the last 3 months for every single one of us in some way, you know, and it doesn't have to be fatality or anything, but there's a change in that in itself becomes a loss of what you had known or done. It's all in how we think, and boy, we need to always remind ourselves of that as air signs. Careful of what you're thinking. That becomes exactly what is created in your life, in your body. You know, I think people are sore than usual. I'm getting calls every day as a massage therapist, even though I cannot work at my business and haven't been able to. They still are wanting it, and they're hurting, and they're on my waiting list. So we've got that set up. But yeah, everything like that we kind of hold in or we just feel stressed about definitely affects us internally and otherwise. So there has been a loss, but guess what? The 5s are about change. The new moon is about change. Our thoughts can make our changes. All of that's ending. The stresses, the conversations that have caused problems, the inability to reach people, you know, through loans or any kind of financial situations. It could be legal. You know, in addition to Libra and Aquarius, it's also Gemini. And we, like I said, Gemini Venus was retrograde in Gemini and it's now forward. And we just finished Gemini season. A lot of air, a lot of thoughts, a lot of need to communicate and speak our truths and make a difference. So that's understandable. And then this is absolutely beautiful. We've got another sword. Boy, are you ever. This is the King of Swords. And it doesn't have to be a man, but it's the maturity of the understanding of how important our thoughts and our ability to communicate things are. And the bottom word is intuition. You're fully aware of what it is you need to say, how you need to move forward. And I feel like there's going to be great information coming forward for you that's been held up or restricted in some ways. And yeah, the main thing about the 5 and the swords is just kind of self-inflicted, just almost, this despair that's no longer a part of your intention or anything you want to have to do with it, because you're thinking futuristically, especially with that Aquarian energy helping you out. Yeah, the two of you can move mountains, and that's the reality of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have some kind of internet vlog or all the podcasts or anything, because you're so good at that. You could be writing at this time. It may have been a crucial, important time for you to start writing something you hadn't had time for before. It's about the word, boy. It's about our thoughts and words, spoken word of all different types. So it's strong, it's good, it's upright, it's fairness, it's justice, and it's finding that balance. The King is always the most, capable, because they are the mature energy. And you'll sort through it all. You absolutely will. And then we have the major arcana, the Hangman. Yeah, still kind of waiting, we're all waiting. I'm not saying, like I said, with the new moon, that's going to provide so much news and opportunities moving forward for some time to come now. It's not the time to go fast forward. And the Hangman also represents, well, it is the sign of Pisces. And we did have Neptune just go into retrograde in Pisces yesterday. Well, Pisces is all about our psyche and the ability to recognize spiritually and physically this enormous natural, divinely guided, intuitive gifts that we have. So the difference of perspection is a lot of times what this card represents, hanging upside down, but very much spiritually guided. And you've got the glow, the halo around the head. So there's serenity in just kind of stopping and just letting things flow as they will, not having to be responsible or take charge, and if you have an opportunity at all, because a lot of people have been working, and you might very well be the couple that has been, and maybe working together and keeping things going. And I love and appreciate you for that. It's amazing. And I send Reiki healing energy to the world and to each and every individual to restore and to renew and replenish themselves every day. But this is about you just really feeling that powerful intuition and the connection that you're feeling with the energies and the planets and the world and the unseen. But knowing you're guided, never a question about that. So yeah, that is a beautiful, beautiful understanding. And then, wow, right along with that, this is really getting to me, because you have the Priestess, also a major arcana. And that's what the title is. Between the two, which is very predominantly Piscean energy, all of us have intuition. All of us have that gift if we choose to utilize it. And this is really knowing fully, outwardly and inwardly, that beautiful balance of material and internal connections that are within all of us. But knowing that, getting the answers, you might get some very prophetic dreams coming in. This is a powerful time with the water element so much in focus and strongly affecting all of us. You know, the moon controlling the tides. Cancer is actually, that's the ruling planet is the moon, so there's going to be a lot more receptiveness coming through. And you probably already know and understand what I mean by this. But it's good though, because when you are at that state, or you allow yourself maybe 5, whatever, how much time to meditate, whatever that means to you, you know, it could be yoga or walking or just literally sitting and breathing and listening to your breath and taking it in. The information that's going to come in is going to be very, very powerful and useful to you. So do yourself a favor and allow that and listen. By the way, Libras are amazing listeners. I'm sure you are too, Aquarians, but that is an important thing to say about Libras, because they want to fully understand and connect with people, and a lot of that for them is allowing people to speak and really listening and just having that beautiful connection and balance with people. Good stuff, powerful stuff, but very, very appropriate. So I hope that you're resonating with this now, and if you're not, you will be, I can promise you, because the powerfulness of the, like I said, the eclipses really, they carry on and they bring sometimes quick interest, newnesses, quick exits. That's an eclipse. Eclipse things out of your life, or it can take some time. Yep. So yeah, this is, interestingly enough, the last eclipse in January, on January 10th, was also in Cancer. So we have a series, they call them the series, they're of 2, they happen in pairs, twins, so it's been Cancer, Capricorn for the last 2.5 years, and then we switched to Gemini and Sagittarius. So we had the Sagittarius, and we've got the Cancer and the last Capricorn, and then we're going to continue with the Gemini and Aquarius eclipses that'll happen like again in December and January, and that's extremely good for the energetic aspect of air quality signs, air elements. So let me read to you and share this one message just for the 2 of you for, like I said, today, the remainder of the month. Beautiful, beautiful, loving energy that comes from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck that is powerful. By Colette Baron Reed. The Eyes of Beauty, Positive Expectation and Clarity. Number 25, 2 and 5 in numerology equals a 7. 7 is about working through our difficulties. It's that divinely, heavenly, spiritual number. It can be extremely lucky. It's about changes, and it's about, not so much changes, but just about working through and changes in what's coming up for you, because you're getting the help you need. It's an angelic number, 7s. Let me read to you what it says. Number 25, and today is the 25th. That's a coincidence as well. Let me see here now. Oh, there we go. When the eyes of beauty show up as your ally, they require you to examine your perceptions. Do you see the world as perfect and beautiful? Can you retrace your steps from your past to now and see the perfection in the way reality has been created? Truly, perception is everything. A glass half empty is the same as a glass half full, yet so differently according to how it's perceived. The eyes of beauty remind you that if you move forward with conviction, all is well now and always will be. You will see true prosperity as a result. Expect to see beauty, and you will attract your highest good. Yes, how beautiful is that? Pretty much in line, boy. What you expect, what you perceive, what you choose to intuitively and innately create and allow will be extremely abundant for you. Let me finish with your Super Attractor Manifestation card, because this is all about getting that life we choose, feeling it into reality. If you know anything about the law of attraction, boy, that's an interesting shuffle. I've already shuffled these before, but I like to do it just a little bit more. Yeah, let's feel into our reality what it is we want. Because what you give is what you receive. And that's a feeling thing. Love is a feeling, emotion. Deep, deep, unconditional love. Gorgeous. And your message is, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. Whew, look at all those hands. Look at how you're connecting, you know, even while at home, you know, and just putting out that energy. And that's so relevant for, like I said, the Aquarian energy, wanting to just share and give in huge, huge ways, you know. And same with Libra. So beautiful energy, you're beautiful souls. I'm grateful to be reading for you today. I hope you like it. And if you don't resonate right away, wait. Give it some time and then let me know, please. And if you did like it, please do subscribe and help me to continue to evolve and grow this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Most importantly, take extremely good care of yourselves. You do matter, and it's just going to get better and better. Thanks so much. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.